Welcome to Drawfee, where we take dumb ideas.
And make even dumber drawings.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Willie.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Julia.
And we are continuing on our spooky series of episodes. Episodes we recorded in October, but may come out in November because...
We don't plan.
We plan too much.
We plan too much. We're too far ahead of ourselves.
We're too far ahead of ourselves. I think November can be a spooky month, too. We're doing a suggestion from Seventh Sign with a Y, and we're doing Stephen King book titles. We're trying to figure out what the book's about based on the title of the book.
Yeah. So I have some Stephen King stories.
So are these like short stories and books? Or?
I looked for the weirdest title. I think they're all short stories because I feel like he's got a lot of books, but I feel like people have heard of all of his books. But I feel like a little more anonymity with the short stories.
Yeah, he got wild enough on his books. I imagine like his short stories, he went even more wild.
Well, the titles were better. Let's just jump in. So your story is Word Processor of the Gods.
Oh my God.
Excuse me?
Word processor of the gods. Okay.
So is that like Microsoft Word, but the gods using? The gods are using?
The gods.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I looked up one of the summaries for one of the stories, and it wasn't like a fun thing to like recount. So I was just like, I'm just not going to figure out what the rest of them are about.
So we're all going completely blind.
We're going blind
into this.
Yes.
I love it. That's great.
We can only guess as to what Stephen King's intentions were.
I can tell you what one of them is.
Okay.
But I don't think you want me to.
So I'm drawing a word processor.
Word processor could also be one of those court stenographers.
Oh, okay. Like it could be a job. Well, I've already started drawing this old-timey like Dell computer. I don't know. When I think word processor, I think of the old computers. I think of the
no
early.
one says word processor anymore. Like we don't consider that our computer is having to process the text we're typing in.
I say word processor.
I use Google Docs.
Well, I feel like that's my word processor is Google Docs.
Okay.
It's a dang old writing app.
It's a word processor.
I mean, you're right. It's just, I think that phrase is archaic at this point.
Everything's archaic. We're all going to die one day.
Wow.
That's another Stephen King story.
It's a really good one, too.
Which gods should I get in here? I immediately went to Zeus.
Get in a Zeus, get in an Anubis.
Oh, Anubis.
Yeah, like multi-pantheon.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I got an idea. We've got Zeus. He's working on his novel. He's doing a steamy tell-all of his times on Earth, all the different times he turned into a swan or a bull.
Is that a full Zeus head, or is that a body?
I was just doing the head.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's the beard. It's like the
now.
classic
it's a beard. It looks
Disney
like
Hercules
Thanos
beard.
from where I'm sitting.
It does kind of look like Thanos.
Who's a god, kind of.
Yeah, well, he's a Titan. He's the Mad Titan.
Don't ever correct me again.
So are we like assuming that the gods are still using old tech? They're like old people?
Yeah.
Like they haven't updated to the newest.
No.
Well, that is kind of what we assume with gods. If you were to ask me what God spoke, I'd be like Latin or something. And he probably speaks every language, but you just assume it's older stuff.
Yeah, they must have like adapted with the times, right?
ye
They're all
olden
knowing.
times.
Well, I feel like they like kind of, a lot of the gods just kind of like are aged. I feel like even in the past, gods were from the past. Am I making that up?
Right, yeah, no,
Yeah.
the gods existed.
Timeless.
They existed for longer than mortals.
Mhm.
Right. That's why I like the ancient gods, because they're old, but they still act like a bunch of rowdy teens.
Yeah, just some real horny teens.
Some real horny teens.
Especially Zeus.
Zeus is a bad man. Zeus is a very bad man.
Zeus is a very bad
Bad man, a bad god.
I mean, I imagine that cultures kind of, fashioned their gods in their own image, like based on what they were getting up to back in those days. So we think like the ancient peoples were just like a bunch of horny teens.
Well, they
Aren't
were
humans all just horny
certainly
teens?
interested in horny teens if we're talking about the Greek.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude. That's just true.
That's
Yeah.
just true. So are like all the gods gathering around this computer to watch Zeus type his book?
Well, this is going to be kind of a relatable... Oh, God, I made his face way too big for his little arm.
He does a huge head.
Look at that. Look
Well,
at
he's
that
a god.
stubby little...
He can be
little
whatever
arm.
size.
Hold on.
I mean,
let's-
Athena
let's-
sprung out of it fully grown, so it's
let's-
got to be a pretty big noggin.
Yeah, big old donker
Let's
up there.
fix that.
my
Some proportions. Okay.
favorite book growing up was a book of Greek myths, and it ends with the gods all dying. And
Right.
that page always made me really sad because I would like jump around through multiple stories, and then there's just a picture of a giant. This is how it becomes relevant again. There's just a giant Zeus head like lying on the ground, and it was just like everything dies, and so too did the gods. And that I would skip that page a
Wow.
lot.
That's a brutal ending for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan, is this a kitty?
This is the Egyptian god Bast.
Oh.
Oh,
And,
it was
uh,
just a cat.
And as we know, cats love to sit on keyboards.
Oh, it's getting on Zeus's keyboard.
It's getting on Zeus's keyboard, and Zeus is like, Bast,
Please.
please.
I
Come
just
on
got
now.
done petting you.
And Bast is like,
I bought you that nice heated bed.
Bast is the worst god name I've ever heard.
No, it's the Bast.
I was so fast on the draw.
Fast on the Bast.
I walked right into that one. I won't try to continue. I'll just give you your moment, Nathan.
Yeah, you've earned this one, Nathan.
Thank you. Thank you. guys.
Everyone take a break and just clap for Nathan. Everyone clap at your computers.
Mm.
We'll give you a second. Do you hear the applause?
Yeah, I can hear it in my head. Zeus is so frustrated. He's like, oh,
I was getting to the best part.
I was getting to the Bast part.
You can't do it twice.
I can do it as many times as I want.
You absolutely cannot.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm drawing the word processor of the gods. Zeus is so mad.
I looked away for like 2 seconds, and he went from like typing to like wanting to kill the cat really quickly.
That's what happens when a cat comes jumps on your keyboard,
Yeah, he
right?
was at the hottest
you
bit.
go from typing to wanting to kill your cat. This is hashtag relatable. This is the most hashtag relatable. He also doesn't know how to sit at a desk. He's not facing the right
he's
way.
very sideways. This is probably a much better story than whatever Stephen King wrote.
Yeah. Well, I was just looking. He wrote too many things to like have any of them be good, and I know that some of them are. So like all the ones that I haven't heard of must be atrocious.
I
That's my
begin
thought.
to think that maybe they aren't good. Like even his good ones aren't that good. Because I've read some of his good ones and they're not good.
Which ones?
He definitely
Like It and like The Shining and like they're fine.
What about the Dark Tower
he-
series?
I've even read most of that. I've read 5 of 7 books. He
I-
just loses himself like so fast.
Well, I think that like that's what I was realizing watching it is like I like this kind of movie, and he definitely inspired this like brand of like small town horror. Maybe there's some kids in there.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ever made like a great version of it. I feel like when I was watching it, I was like, wow, I wish they'd make a better movie that was like kids fighting a monster like this, which I guess is just like Amblin, but
I liked it, but also they changed so much from the book in order to make it a passable movie.
yeah. And
Like
they also
if they
took
kept it the same, it would have been unwatchable.
They also took out the child orgy, which I was a little upset about.
Exactly. That's the part I'm referring to that they took
Yeah.
out to
There's
make it a watchable movie.
There's a child orgy?
They all
Yeah.
have sex with one another
There's a
before
sewer-
they fight him, I
a
think.
sewer child orgy.
It's like to give
the
themselves
book.
powers.
He was on a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much.
boy.
He directed an entire movie, and he says he doesn't remember any of it, as best I can tell. And it's like, have you ever seen the pictures of it? I forget what it's called.
Is it the one about the cars?
Yeah, and
or
they're
the machines
the
that
main
come to
one,
life?
Yeah, it's like every machine comes to life, and the main picture I can think of is it's just like a semi truck with like a green goblin mask on it driving towards something. I want to. It's something like Terminal Velocity.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
like I was thinking like Full Throttle or
it
like
might be.
heavy metal. It's like something like that.
It's not heavy metal. That's a
Maximum
rotoscope.
Overdrive.
Maximum
Maximum
Overdrive. We were
Overdrive.
definitely on the right path.
Yeah.
Loki wants to use the word processor.
Aw.
It is Marvel's Loki. I've noticed.
What other Loki is there?
You did Hercules as Zeus, or Disney's Hercules, Zeus.
Well, I guess it's Disney's.
They're all
Loki now too.
it's all Disney.
It's all Disney.
It's all
Disney
Disney.
also owns Egypt.
Yeah.
So.
No, this is Bast from Prince of Egypt, which is a DreamWorks film. So there's a little bit of conflict there. This is the word processor of the gods. There's only one, and they're all just like, come on, and Bast just won't.
We're gods. Why don't we have more than one of these?
Bast.
Why do we need them at all? Jacob is here now, at the mic, at the helm.
Jacob's here, and I think this one is one you will appreciate a lot.
Okay.
This is the one that I know the synopsis of, but it's not
great.
like a fun synopsis, but it is a fun title. Mr. Yummy.
Mr. Yummy.
Mr. Yummy.
That's not scary at all.
Mr. Yummy. It's like I'm thinking of like a demonic Pillsbury Doughboy. Is
Yeah,
like
it's got to
the
be
first
something
thing
like that, right?
Comes to mind.
Or just some real creepoid.
Mr.
Who just
Yummy.
calls everything yummy. He like looks at it and calls everything yummy, so everyone
Yummy.
just calls him Mr. Yummy.
Mr. Yummy sounds like a Doctor Who villain.
Yeah. Or like a Candyman, Bloody Mary type figure.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But like that's not what he is in Stephen King's book.
Okay, so Mr. Yummy, I'm real. So this is one that you do know a little bit more about because the word processor of the gods.
Yeah.
We just really.
I can tell you what the story is. It takes place in a retirement home, from what
Okay.
Wikipedia says.
Mr. Yummy
and
does?
Mr. Yummy does, and it's like two people talking about their lives. There's like sad stuff that happens. It ends with one of them picturing like the spirit of death coming for them, but the spirit of death takes the form of like some redhead that gave him a boner a long time ago.
What?
Yeah.
What part of that is Mr. Yummy?
Mr. Yummy is he's in there. I forget. what
Mr. Yummy.
Oh, he's in there.
He's in there. He's part of it.
Yeah, I think he was like one of the memories.
He's like the skeletons in.
Oh.
No, he's a monster
David
that comes out of your
Pumpkins.
oven.
No, I think-
that's
I think-
clear to anyone.
I think Mr. Yummy was
It's like a creepy crawlers.
Yeah.
Okay, don't quote me on this, but I believe the synopsis said that Mr. Yummy was one of the gentlemen was gay, and in his youth he had gone to a club, and there was a guy at the club named Mr. Yummy because he would just keep calling people yummy. I don't know.
Is this a scary story or is it just
I think
like?
it might be
it
more
just a
closer to a
story?
Stand By Me type.
Oh.
But I don't know. Mr. Yummy seems like I feel like most of the things Jacob draws
Are
could be
Mr.
called
Yummy.
Mr. Yummy,
Yeah.
regardless. So I figured.
Yeah, Jacob, draw a scary Mr. Yummy.
I'm going to try to. I think
This
it
is already a
is-
great pose.
I think it is a little guy that comes out of your oven if you forget your food in there.
Oh no.
That just sounds useful.
Yeah. Instead of burning your house down, you just get Mr. Yummy.
Well, he does burn your house down.
Oh, okay.
He comes out and then he burns your house down.
And then he eats you.
So he's not really like necessary. Like your house probably would have burned down regardless. That's why it's the perfect crime.
Mr. Yummy, the perfect crime.
Well, this is scary for me. I have very mild OCD, and one of my compulsions is I'm often late for work because I keep going in to check to make sure the oven's off.
Because you don't want Mr. Yummy coming
Because
out
I don't want
of your
Mr.
house.
Yummy, because I feel like that is a big concern for me. So Mr. Yummy is my demon.
I feel like I've like run into you walking to work and we were walking to the subway together and then you've left to go check that your oven was off.
That'll happen.
Has it ever not been off?
Yeah, and I'm totally fine with it. The thing is, ovens are like totally fine to be on. Like, the worst case scenario is nothing happens, but like I have like a big thing where
You
it's
just come
like,
home and your apartment smells kind of like gas and it's hot.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at
Mr.
this
Yummy is
friend.
melting.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Yummy.
Well, he was in your oven and it's
I'm coming to
hot.
get you.
It's hot in there.
I just read the synopsis for
Mhm.
Mr. Yummy
Mhm.
very quickly. What?
Yeah, it was one of those things. Like I started reading it, and I was like, one, a lot of the details are just like not fun to bring up on Drawfee, and
Yeah, no.
two, a lot of like short stories I think are mostly about the writing. So like when you just have a plot synopsis of it, it just kind of feels like
Very
weird. Like
dumb.
I feel like the ending with the lady who gave him a boner years ago
Yeah.
is probably like very symbolic, and that's a much bigger part when you're doing short fiction. But like
He doesn't know what symbolism is.
uh,
Don't give him that
I don't think
credit.
it's symbolic, but I think that
Wow,
it's.
we're
I think.
just
Shitting on Stephen King.
Well, I think that.
I think he's good.
I
The counterpoint, I read the plot synopsis of Lady Bird, the
Mm-hmm.
movie Lady Bird, and I heard it's a good movie. But yeah, if you just read the plot synopsis of that, it's just like this is nothing.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is-
you probably got to see the
It's,
acting.
it's
and-
all about the acting and the subtleties of the performance. And if you just read the plot synopsis, it's just like a girl goes to school, she has a fight with her parents, then they make up.
Wow, spoilers.
Do they make up?
Okay, yeah, it's
Do they? She does become religious. Spoiler.
well. There you go.
Not really. She
No,
goes to church.
she just goes to church. She like reconnects.
Did you
with
see the movie, Nathan?
I read the synopsis.
Well,
That's what because my girlfriend went to see it, and I was like, oh, I want to know what this movie's about that she's going to see. And I read it, and I was like, wow, it's one of those you got to be there ones. Well,
I'm realizing now I've set myself up just to draw like a
You're
kitchen.
just drawing a little kitchen.
I'm just drawing a
Jacob's
kitchen
just
now.
designing us a
Jacob,
kitchen.
just blow up the image you've already drawn. You have to draw
Well,
less.
I have to get the
This is
smoke
my
hood.
oven too.
Yeah, you got to get the fume hood
You gotta
in
get
there.
the fume hood, Julia.
Aww.
By the time this episode comes out, I'll be moved into my new apartment with my big new kitchen. I'm excited.
Do you have a
When
nice
do you
fume
move?
hood?
I move the weekend after we record this, so definitely before this comes out.
Oh, that's sad.
This fume hood looks
We're
like
not neighbors
garbage.
anymore.
Yeah, we're still train buddies.
I mean, I'm moving in like a month.
Oh yeah, and you're moving
Yeah.
far.
I'm moving all the way across the country.
California.
California. Shit, is this gonna be my last episode?
That's where
Drawfee?
Willie
Here, Willie
goes.
comes.
There's a chance of it. So if that's the case, then goodbye,
I would
everyone.
say
I love you
probably
very
not.
much. I don't know how to work a phone or a Skype or something.
Get Skype, get an internet, get a Skype, get a microphone, and then we can have you call in whenever.
If you guys in the audience can teach me how to use Skype.
So your only warning sign that this is going to happen to you is if you hear the faint yummy come from your kitchen, and then you have about 5 seconds to get in there and turn that oven off.
This is my greatest fear.
Here's the thing, though. If you taste Mr. Yummy, he is delicious.
Oh, he tastes so good.
He's just you get that. He's very caramelized around the edges.
That's how they get him in the end, how they win.
Yeah,
the
they just
main character.
They just eat him up.
They just start eating him, and he screams the whole time, like in agony. But the taste is so good, you can't stop. Anyways, Julia.
This looks like a Goosebumps cover.
It
does.
does.
This is, I think, Camp Jelly Jam.
No. Camp Jelly Jam is still the scariest fucking thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
Stephen King is basically Goosebumps for adults. So, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, I'm in.
Yeah, hop in here.
Julia,
Yes.
your story is one that I would like to see your take on, and it is called The Bone Church.
The Bone Church.
The Bone Church.
The
Bone
Bone
Church.
Church.
Julia, you should know this better than anyone because you are a member of the Bone Church.
I am a member of the Bone Church. That is correct.
Bone Church is my wrestler name.
Bone Church?
Welcome to Bone Church. I've got a sermon for you.
Wait. So you're
a bone sermon.
you're saying welcome to myself when you wrestle a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I welcome you.
Okay.
I'm a one-man Bone Church.
I'm a one-man Bone Church.
You know, like a normal Bone Church? I'm like that, but a man.
Time to confess your sins.
Is your
Your bone sins.
my life has gotten to a point where I have a new gadget that keeps me on track, which is if you press this,
You have a lightning wrist.
it shocks you.
What?
And it's called a Pavlok, and it's supposed to Pavlovian train you. And my life is,
Isn't that
Is-
was that on a Shark Tank?
it was. You want to try it? It doesn't hurt that bad.
I do want to try
I
it.
do want to try it.
Okay, we're gonna shock Nathan, and then we can shock Jacob if there's time. Julia.
Julia, you keep drawing this bone past her.
Okay, so this is
Yeah, I'll keep
literally as
going.
high as it goes.
Don't worry about it.
But so if
Slam
I
out this
do,
bone,
So if
this
this
bone
is for
man.
if you do something you don't want yourself to do, you shock yourself.
well, right now I'm using it for if I overeat, and then
Okay.
also it's an alarm clock, which works really well, but is unpleasant. So if I were to overeat, I would and I was grabbing like another slice of pizza, I would do this, and then it would. It's apparently supposed to like.
Don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean it's not the word. That's
it's not.
that's the
Try it, give it to
highest.
me.
Okay.
Okay,
at
wait.
this guy.
I have to do something that I don't want to do anymore and then shock myself.
No, I mean
So I'm
Say,
gonna say-
say something mean about Stephen King and then shock yourself.
I'm going to say My Chemical Romance isn't emo, and then I'm going to shock myself.
Okay.
My Chemical Romance isn't emo.
Ah.
It just feels like a little bad.
Yeah.
it's definitely designed to be tolerable. I think it's more just like I think it's just enough electricity to be like my body's not supposed to have electricity in it. Oh God, is his neck a steeple?
No.
Is he the
Oh.
Bone Church?
No, that would be great.
This is just a. This
Julia,
is
do
just.
you want to
the-
wear this shock watch and shock yourself with it?
Yeah, sure, why not? Put it on there. Should I do
Wait,
it on my drawing hand?
You got to do this. Yeah, stick that
Yeah,
in
this
there.
is in the middle of my own drawing.
Yeah, just so
Yeah.
nothing's happening on screen right now. Trevor, put
There you
something
go.
on the
So you
screen.
just like push it and it'll
for
light
this
up,
part.
and then
Okay.
it'll shock you. But what don't you want to do? Call Nathan a dipshit and then do it.
Okay. Nathan, you're a dipshit. Oh. Yeah, that doesn't feel great.
It's more unnatural than painful, though.
Yeah, it
It's
just
not-
feels like something bad's happened to you.
It feels like my carpal tunnel's acting up.
It feels like the threat of more bad to come. Like
Yeah.
if I felt that, I'd be worried that something worse was about to happen.
I think you just associate. I don't know. It's not working. I've been overeating.
Wait, Julia,
like a
can we do something with
kook.
this man real
What?
quick? Can
What?
you like lower him like really low and then slowly raise him up? Because he has such a long body. I feel like this will be good.
Mr. Yummy.
Mr. Yummy, the pastor of the Bone Church.
How creepy would it be
Ooh.
if you lowered him and then when he breached Mr. Yummy, drawing just came out? That'd be the scariest. He
Oh,
just looks like a
hello.
nice priest man.
Are you coming to the Bone Church?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
You know what would be really fun if I were more in tune with branded content? Just like get Stephen King on the phone, see if he can give a synopsis of the books that he's written from the title, because I don't think he would be able
You
to
don't think
know. Like go up to him, say, "Hey, King bitch, what is the Bone Church about?" and see if he can figure it out
Without Googling it.
Without
you can't
Googling
look
it.
it up.
You remember writing this book.
Literally, or just like
This short story, right?
Yeah, or even make it simpler. Is this your story? Come up with a bunch
we
of
just
fake.
come up with a bunch of fake ones and
Yeah,
pepper
yeah.
some real ones in too. Be like, is this a story you've written?
And the fun thing, I know, but what would happen is we could give him the fake. We could have like the haunted Post-it note, and he'd like come out. He'd like bang out a short story by the time we
Yeah.
were done.
And then he would prove himself right.
Yeah, he would just be like, I will write every story by the time we're done
Yeah.
talking because I'm a goddamn pro. I'm Stephen fucking King. Step to me.
I've never read it, but I have heard there's one really good book by Stephen King, and that's the book that he teaches you how to be a writer.
He tells you to do so much cocaine in that book, though.
Yeah.
I like these lines in his face. He grows haggard because his congregation has dwindled.
It'd be cool if there were a bunch of skeletons who had the power to like join forces. Like it was like a gang of skeletons, and you're like, oh, they're just skeletons. They're not a big threat, and then they'd like merge into a brontosaurus.
Oh, like Legos, like
Yeah.
bone Legos.
Yeah.
Are they like human skeletons
They're
that merge
human
into a
skeletons.
brontosaurus?
Yeah.
And they become like a human
A
brontosaurus.
big human brontosaurus, which were, I believe, herbivores.
Yeah.
So
But they'd still kill you if they wanted to. You go fight a brontosaurus, see how you fare, dumbass.
Wow.
that's fair.
You feel stupid now,
I
don't
feel
you,
really
Jacob?
stupid. I'm
I
sorry,
feel like we're gonna
everyone.
get a lot of corrections about like brontosauruses not existing, and you know what? I don't care anymore.
No, they do exist again.
Oh.
Don't
What do
they?
you mean they do or do
They've
they?
come back to life.
No,
they now exist
Well,
again.
because people thought that Brontosaurus was a thing, and then they were like, no, it's actually an Apatosaurus mixed with a Brachiosaurus. But then I think more recently than that, they were like, no, wait, actually Brontosaurus is its own.
If that's the case, then what kind of douchebag like looked at the brontosaurus bones and were like, you know what? I'm gonna disprove this.
Yeah, I like that whole branch of science is fascinating to me because you're just finding bones, and you just have to be like, I think these go together.
It's also fun though. My favorite clickbait that I've read in a long time was just like it was a collection of what animals would look like if we reconstructed them based on their own skeleton, based on their skeletons, the same way that we
the way do
reconstructed dinosaurs. Like
without any like fat. Or,
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
geese are the scariest things in the world.
Yeah, if we make them these like muscle beasts,
Mm-hmm.
these tight skin wrapped muscle beasts, like what we made dinosaurs look like in
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
That's the new Taco Bell special, the skin wrap muscle beast.
I would
It's
pay.
limited time only.
You can get 5 for $1.
5 skin wrap muscle beasts for $1. Yeah, it's incredible.
And unlimited Baja Blast.
I would pay my firstborn
You would pay your first
with
one?
him. I
How
would
much
pay
would you
with
pay
him.
him?
I would use
Yeah.
him as legal tender.
Oh, okay.
In order to taste a dinosaur. And then I'd try to get it my firstborn
What if it
back.
sucked?
That would be some buyer's remorse right there.
What if the whole plot of Jurassic Park is they bring dinosaurs back to life to immediately kill them and sell as food?
I would
Yeah.
straight up want to. I bet they just taste like super chicken.
That's absolutely what like corporations would do, though.
Yeah.
If you could get one dinosaur, that's one thing you'd have to kill
Yeah.
to feed the masses.
They're pretty big. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
We should be eating whale.
Julia, this drawing is just rad. Are those like
Yes.
god rays?
No, it's gonna be like some spooky ooky clouds.
Oh, spooky cloud.
The
I
word-
love a spooky cloud.
The name Bone Church reminded me of a song I'm going to listen to after this. So
I'm pretty sure Bone Church is the name of some character from something I've consumed.
maybe was it Stephen King's immortal short story Bone Church?
It wasn't. It was definitely like from something, and I know someone in the comments is probably gonna know
Was it
what
wrestling?
it is. I don't think
Was
it
it
was
Nate?
wrestling.
Yeah, was it Nathan's wrestling
it's
character?
it's my
Was
wrestling
it
persona.
an anime character?
I don't think it was anime.
I'm thinking of Junkie Church, which is a song.
Was it
That's a song by AJJ. Love that song.
It's a good song.
I'm gonna look it up and see if there's anything.
Willie, do we have a plot synopsis for Bone Church?
No, but I'll make one
Okay.
up right now. Once
Please
upon
do.
a time, Martha Bone decided that she wanted to start her own church because she was very religious. But then things got out of hand, and then she found a leprechaun and made a wish, and then everything was better.
That was
I'd
Bone
read
Church.
that.
Bone Church.
I'd read that book.
Martha Bone.
Oh,
Ken
what's
Bone. Ken Bone.
Ken Bone.
That's his
Julia,
name.
you should have drawn Ken Bone.
The Church
Start
of Bone.
over.
All right, so Ken
Yeah.
Bone.
Ken Bone Church.
Okay,
No.
I will say this. Please request in the comments Julia drawing Ken Bone from memory because that's all I want to see now.
I have no idea who that is.
Ken Bone.
Ken Bone.
You can keep saying Ken Bone at
It's
me.
like you
however
don't
loud
follow
want.
politics.
Guys, there's a band called Bone Church. A metal band.
Ugh.
I think that's what I was thinking
Ugh.
of, is the metal band Bone Church.
Boner Church.
What's happening?
This
Nice.
is Ken Bone.
Julia's drawing Ken Bone.
Oh, Ken Bone.
Oh, Ken Bone's been dieting.
Don't forget his signature. His signature look.
Julia,
What's
I
a
don't think this
signature
is Ken
look?
Bone.
Red vest.
This is Ben Bone.
I don't know who this is, but this is no Ken Bone.
This is Gary Busey.
What a mean thing to say to someone. You are no Ken
You
Bone.
are no
sir.
Ken
You're
Bone.
certainly no Ken Bone.
I know Ken Bone.
Yeah,
I
you-
worked with Ken Bone, and you, sir, are
Are
no
no
Ken
Ken
Bone.
Bone.
Ken Bone is the
That's-
godfather of my child.
Yeah, oh, God. What's he doing? Ken Bone, if you're watching this.
Ken Bone, if you're watching this, thanks.
Oh, wait, can we, if Ken Bone is watching this, can we get him on as a guest?
I wouldn't mind.
I
Okay.
remember hearing about a service that's like exists right now where you can pay like celebrities
Cameo.
to record. Is that what it is?
Cameo,
To like
yeah.
record any like voice message you want.
Uh-huh.
And Ken Bone was doing that recently.
Oh,
That
I
makes
know
sense.
that.
I know that the girl from Hairspray is big on it. We should do. I'll start a cameo. If anyone wants me to pay me to record a message, I'll do it.
Great.
Is this Ken Bone?
This is
Is this
He
Ken
doesn't
I
Bone?
even
really
have
like this character, but this is
bones.
not Ken Bone.
Is this Ken Bone?
Ken Bone had a mustache.
This looks
Julia.
like a Clone High character.
It
This
does
looks
look like a Clone High.
Ken Bone had a mustache.
Now it's Ken Bone.
Name's Ken Bone.
And I've never met a man I couldn't kill.
Is this Ken Bone?
This is not Ken Bone.
This
Where's
is
his
not-
head going? Where's his face going?
Good.
Oh,
Oh,
you-
what?
Is this him?
Oh, that's awful.
We didn't
they
say
do
like the problem is his face is too high.
I mean, I'll say,
Although
Julia.
I do like this a
I
lot.
do like
Yeah.
it too.
Julia, you are the true master of horror. Fuck Stephen King.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's- Where are we going?
Yeah, what's- oh, okay. We want them to be.
No.
We want them to be very small.
Wait, Julia, put on my watch for a second. I need to train you to never do this again.
Funny.
I'm Ken Bone, son.
Yeah. Please
Me?
make fan art of Ken Bone. Get Ken Bone.
Name's Ken Bone, son.
Ken Bone.
You'd best not forget.
The true Ken Bone was the friends we made along the way.
If he's not on Drawfee now, I'm gonna be mad.
I think this Ken Bone and Nathan's Bone Church would be
I
a
wanna look
wrestling
up Ken
duo.
Bone.
You want to look up Ken Bone? He's the
gonna look up-
least remarkable human being ever.
Oh,
was-
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely didn't draw him, but
Yeah.
you did draw something really good. You did draw something wonderful.
I mean, Ken Bone is now a meme. He's got second life as whatever this monster is.
You drew a former cowboy who now works as a movie theater attendant.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if anyone's seen A Star Is Born, but I feel like this is like the third brother of Bradley Cooper and
made his eyes glasses.
Yeah. I just had
looks
to
like
make
he's
him
a
look
crime
more like
fighter.
Ken Bone.
We have to stop.
We have to stop.
probably.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's Bone Church.
That's pretty.
This is very cool.
Well, cool. We got one synopsis for one of these stories. The other two, look them up on your own, I guess.
If you want.
And
If
also,
you want.
Also, if you like spooky stuff, watch my show, The Spooky Show.
Yeah, watch the Spooky Show.
I was hoping to be on October, but I guess it's over now. It's fine.
Who knows?
Yeah.
knows?
No, it's fine.
October is 2 months now.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
cool.
on October part 2.
October
Yeah.
2, yay.
If you like spooky
October.
stuff and you like Willie, you should watch Cartoon Hell because it's kind of spooky. Being
Am I in
hell.
it?
You're in Cartoon Hell. You're in some episodes. You,
Oh, right,
You
right,
play
right,
a
right,
character named Wheelie.
Oh, that's that. Okay.
So
Yeah, watch that.
Stay tuned for that and sign up for Dropout. It is the best way to support us directly. Subscribe to the channel, like our videos, leave a suggestion of what you want to see us draw next. You guys are the best.
Boo.
We're
Bringing
sorry.
that
We're
back,
sorry.
huh?
I'm gonna shock him.
Sorry.